the national anthem. All personnel in uniforms, please present arms. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said before, we are gathered here today to honor the victims that died 20 years ago on September 11th, 2001. It was a normal Tuesday morning, beautiful skies in New York City. Everyone was going to work that night before. Everyone kissed their kids goodnight, told their families they loved them, went to bed, woke up that next morning to go to work. And a couple hours into their day, as it started at 8:46 a.m., the North Tower, the World Trade Center in Manhattan, New York, was struck. At that time, people were not sure. They thought it was an accident. But shortly later, at 9:03 a.m., the South Tower was struck, and everyone knew at that point it was not an accident. The United States was under attack. By then, the FDNY was responding, and they had plenty of units on scene. Alongside that, there was also members of the Port Authority Police Department in conjunction with the NYPD and New Jersey State Police. Just a few minutes later, the Pentagon was struck in Washington, D.C. Luckily, not that many people were hurt at the Pentagon. And just shortly after the Pentagon was struck, at 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapsed, taking thousands of people with it, including many firefighters with the Fire Department of New York. After that, luckily, Flight 93 in Pennsylvania at 10:07 a.m. was successfully taken back over from the hijackers and crash landed in a field in Pennsylvania. And just 21 minutes later, the North Tower collapsed, killing even more firefighters and civilians. Today, we are here to honor the 2,977 civilians' lives lost, 343 firefighters with the Fire Department of New York, 37 Port Authority police officers, 23 New York Police Department officers, and 8 emergency medical technicians that lost their lives during the tragic terror attacks on September 11, 2001. At this time, we'll be playing the final call given out to the Fire Department of New York and our 343 brothers that were lost.
Line 343 at the World Trade Center Towers. Please respond.
In the words of George W. Bush, which he read a few days after the terrible events of 9/11, he spoke out and said, "We thank God for the unity and compassion Americans have demonstrated since September 11, 2001. The greatest strength of America is the heart and soul of the American people, and we will continue to help those who are hurting or are in need. We pray that God watch over our brave men and women in uniform. We are grateful for them and to their families for their service and sacrifice. We pray for peace and ask God for patience and resolve in our war against terror and evil. This conflict was begun on the timing and terms of others. It will end in a way and at an hour of our choosing." At this time, we'll be playing Amazing Grace on bagpipes presented by the Fire Department of New York. One final time, I would like to remind everyone that just because it has been 20 years since the tragedy of 9/11, we will never forget the brave men and women that gave their lives. And the 20-plus years of soldiers that were fighting for our freedoms in Afghanistan, protecting us from another tragic event like that happening again. I would like to thank you all for coming, and just please remember the our brothers and sisters that gave their lives, willing to save so many people. Without them, there certainly would have been a greater loss of casualties.